My name is Annette. Standing outside the courthouse, the weight that had been pressing on my shoulders for months finally lifted. My daughter, Lucy, stood beside me, her small hand in mine. The court had just ruled in our favor, ordering my sister, Vivian, to fully restitute Lucy's college fund and imposing penalties for fraud. A lien had been placed on Vivian's penthouse until every cent was paid. As we walked away from the courthouse, I couldn't help but reflect on how we'd gotten here. It all started when I received a bank statement that made my blood run cold. Lucy and I had been saving for her college for 15 years, and every single cent was gone. The balance was zero. I took Lucy with me to the bank, where the manager informed us that the money had been transferred in a single day, authorized by a family member. The name on the transaction was Vivian. I was in shock. I couldn't believe she would do such a thing. The next day, I drove to Vivian's penthouse. It was a luxurious place, overlooking the city. When I confronted her, she was nonchalant, claiming that she'd moved the money for our own good. She said that family resources should be shared and that Lucy wasn't entitled to all of the money. I was furious, but I knew I had to stay calm. When I got home, Lucy and I started to investigate. She was incredibly smart and determined. She figured out that Vivian had used our late father's old joint account login, and she'd probably guessed the answers to the security questions. That night, we worked together to gather evidence. Lucy navigated the bank's online interface like a pro, pulling up transaction histories and timestamps. By midnight, we had a comprehensive report that showed the money had been transferred to Vivian's personal account. The next morning, I took the evidence to the bank. The branch manager was impressed and promised to escalate the case immediately. A few days later, Vivian called me, furious that her account had been frozen. She tried to claim that the money was a loan, but I wasn't buying it. I reminded her that the bank's fraud department was on the case. Then Vivian made a huge mistake. She showed up at Lucy's school, trying to talk to her about family misunderstandings. Lucy was smart enough to tell the school office, and they walked her out the back. That was the last straw for me. I decided to get a restraining order against Vivian. At the court hearing, we presented our evidence: bank statements, a signed withdrawal slip, and a note from the bank's fraud investigation. Vivian tried to claim it was a family arrangement, but the judge wasn't convinced. When we presented the security footage of Vivian outside Lucy's school, it was clear that her actions were unacceptable. The judge granted the restraining order, and Vivian's smug expression faded. Outside the courtroom, Lucy asked me if this meant Vivian couldn't come near us anymore. I told her that Vivian would be breaking the law if she did. In the following weeks, a check arrived as partial payment of the restitution. The penthouse was eventually sold, and I heard that Vivian had moved into a small apartment downtown. Lucy asked me if I thought Vivian would change. I told her that change was up to Vivian, but that I would always protect what was ours. We'd learned that even family can't be trusted sometimes, but we'd also learned that we were stronger together. Our future felt secure again, and I was grateful for that.